Welcome back, everybody, to another I Didn't Do It, Your Honor, Dusty and Anthony Did It episode of Lockdown 23-1. That's right, today we're jumping back into the courtroom to witness a defendant get sentenced for check fraud and other miscellaneous white-collar crimes. And those y'all that don't know, I make the intro and outro after I done reacted to the video. That way I can give you a little intel on what you're about to watch, and man, y'all are in for a trip. The episode today is going to show us a few things. 1, watch what you say in the courtroom, it can make things way worse. 2, people will snitch on anyone or anything just so they can get some probation. And number 3, I will never, ever trust a scammer. Y'all are built diabolically. Not to mention, after he gets sentenced, man, what he says to his court-appointed attorney at the end is unlike anything I've ever seen, man. It's pathetic. But let's get right into it. If you enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'm going to be brief. I know we had discussions in chambers. Mr. Brzezowski has a very long record. He's not proud of it. I've had numerous conversations with him over the past couple months.
When your attorney starts off saying, yeah, he has a long rap sheet, Your Honor, and we're not proud of it. Me personally, I know for a fact right then and there, I'm done for. But before we move forward, I have to do a quick courtroom analysis. Never in my lucky stars have I seen Egyptian driftwood in the courtroom. Wow, that's back in the days when the Nile flowed right through the pyramids. But to pair it up with Roblox birch? Whoever thought of that was living on the edge, not to mention that 1980s casino carpet. That shade of green is known to make you feel relaxed no matter what the situation. Not much on the technology side here, and can someone please give the stenographer a bigger desk? The 50-inch Tesla TV has more room to work with.
He's not proud of it. I've had numerous conversations with him over the past couple months. He stood up, took responsibility for this case early on. He is here today to beg the court. He's here hat in hand for the court to consider giving him an opportunity at community control and possibly chance to go back into a treatment. There is a bed waiting for him at the Matt Talbot Center in the Cleveland area. While this case has been going on separately, there's been cases out of Cuyahoga County that he's pled to, and through those cases, he was referred to the Matt Talbot Center, and then he's been in our county jail, so he hasn't started his treatment there. But, Your Honor, he's got a history of various offenses, but specifically here with forging checks, cashing them for the money. He was doing it in this case. He was doing it in Cuyahoga County.
Let's stop it right there. Them white-collar crimes, man, I'm here to tell you, like I said since the beginning of this channel, you're going to get smoked, and you're going to have a ton of probation to go with it. Do not mess with them checks and credit cards and stuff like that, man, I promise. It's only a matter of time before you're done.
Forging checks, cashing them for the money. He was doing it in this case. He was doing it in Cuyahoga County. Mr. Brzezowski has a drug problem. I know he told probation in this case that for this matter, he used the money to buy and earn, Your Honor, but he also in the past has used money to purchase drugs. I'm asking the court, these are nonviolent offenses. He is remorseful. Again, he's taking responsibility. I'm asking the court to please consider placing him on a community control sanction, giving him an opportunity to go to Matt Talbot and put the ball in his court, Your Honor. If he doesn't follow through, and I know his history isn't promising. I know he's had probation violations in the past, but if he doesn't follow through, then he knows that he's got up to 2 years hanging over his head here. So I'm asking this court to give him an opportunity to show this court that he is serious this time, that he wants to turn his life around and hopefully sober up. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brzezowski.
That was good. That was good. That was a good attorney.
Your Honor, I just, like Mr. Watson said, I ain't proud of my record.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I've been struggling my whole life with a drug addiction.
I could tell.
I've been on, just placed in situations that I had some control over and made terrible decisions. I was also placed in situations I had no control over and made good decisions. And this one is just another opportunity, Your Honor. I'd like to show you that I can be probationable and I can be monitored. I can succeed, and I will, and I can sober up.
Then why haven't you?
Ooh.
If you can do all that, why haven't you done it?
I've still been hanging on to records of my past, in which I've made an attempt, and actually I've cut 2 people out of my life since I've been in this county. Actually, in Cuyahoga also, I haven't contacted the woman I was involved with. I haven't contacted her.
Who's that?
That was Lori Wood.
How'd you get involved in this scam with these checks?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I found a bag on a job site with a checkbook in it.
What job site?
It was I forget where I was at. I think it was like in Middleburg Heights or somewhere, Wycliffe or some. It was a commercial. It was a commercial job site.
Who were you working for?
I was working for Novax at the time.
Oh, this guy's digging himself a bigger ditch, man. Judge over there notating everything. He probably ain't even been charged for those crimes, but now that he's naming the area and kind of how it all went down, they could probably put 2 and 2 together. Match a police report or something, I don't know.
Novax at the time.
What's Novax?
It's a painting company. The union that I was laid off because of my drug problem.
So you're working at this job site in, where'd you say, Fairview?
I believe it was Wycliffe. I think, I'm not sure.
Didn't you
And
say?
I found a bag. I found a duffel bag, backpack,
Didn't you
and it
say
had a
Fairview
checkbook in it.
first time?
Excuse me?
Didn't you say Fairview the first time?
No.
I believe you said Middleburg Heights, Your Honor.
Middleburg Heights, and then now it's Wycliffe.
I'm not sure where it was, Your Honor.
Okay, so what did you find?
I found a duffel bag, a backpack with a checkbook in it, and the job site was empty because we're the last ones on the job.
See, you can never trust a scammer. Never. Not once in your life, man. If he had any kind of weird kind of scamming shit in his past, bro, I ain't never trust you. I'll trust a violent offender before you.
So it was basically just in a pile of sweaters and jackets. So I kept it. I kept the backpack. I kept it in the vehicle for a while. I probably sat on it a couple months, and rummaging through my stuff, I found it.
Lie.
Basically, I was, at that time using. I had been released from jail, I believe.
So,
and I went back to the woman I told you about, to that house.
Yeah, this guy's all over
to
the
what
place.
house?
To my address that I have.
Okay.
And this, like I said, I haven't made no attempts.
So you,
The heck was that? Was that a Roblox skin?
I got talked into signing the
I
check.
got talked into it.
And I didn't realize the severity of the situation.
oh yeah, come on.
I thought it would go against
You've been in
the Board
enough
of
trouble
Collections.
for drugs and thieving that you knew exactly what the hell was going on.
I didn't realize the severity of the felony.
He's
The offense.
done.
I thought, like I said, I thought it was going to go against my collection or credit report. I wasn't that smart to know
You
that
old
I was
thiever.
committing a crime.
So you're either in Middleburg Heights or Wycliffe, and you find this duffel bag full of checks of a company that's in Willoughby, right?
I don't know where the company's at. I can't even remember what check, what it was.
So
Look, now that I think about it, Your Honor, I don't know what the state I was in, company I was working for. As a matter of fact, I might have been dreaming.
and then the duffel bag sat in the car for a while,
Yeah,
months,
Months. Yeah, that was
about a month or
that.
so.
and
About a
then you
month or so.
decide to do what? To take one of these checks? What did you do?
Yeah, I took one of the checks and signed it and made a withdrawal.
What do you mean you signed it? It was a blank check, right?
I put my
Ooh.
name on it.
I love that
Signed it to
movie.
me.
So you signed it, paid to the order of you, filled in $2,000, and then what'd you do? Sign the bottom of the check then?
Yeah, I believe so.
And
This is so long ago, it's, you know,
who's Dusty Mays?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh,
I have no
Dusty?
idea.
I know who that guy is.
Where's Ace Cash Express?
Oh, no.
I'm not sure.
He took a deep breath with that
It's a
one.
check cashing place, I'm sure.
He's like, I've been there about 50 times, Your Honor. Please let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Who's Constance Wagner?
You don't
I
know.
believe that was probably another check I wrote.
Okay. Well, who's Constance Wagner?
I have no idea.
Not good.
Why did you make out a check to Constance Wagner?
I was using the money to get drugs, Your Honor.
I know, why Constance Wagner?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Why don't you have a discussion with him, and he can decide if he wants to keep lying to me,
I mean, I don't know those.
or
He is done.
if he wants to be straight with me. Okay.
Understood, Your Honor. All Donald wants is the truth.
All he wants is the truth, he said.
Who's Constance Wagner?
Uh-oh. Here we go again.
I believe that was the name on one of the checks that I cashed, Your Honor.
Right. So when you went to the bank, or when you went to wherever you went, and you presented a check made out to Constance Wagner, I assume they asked you, are you Constance Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
And you
they did.
said, yes, I'm Constance Wagner?
Yes.
Why didn't you make the check out to like a male so they could probably see you're not a female when you walked in with the check?
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I wasn't in no shape or form. I was under the influence of drugs. I didn't even know where this took place. I forgot all about that incident. Also, it's like I said, but I totally forgot.
Yeah, I ain't going for that.
I'm not trying to lie. I just didn't remember, Your Honor.
It just seems curious to me that you wrote out checks to two females, presented the checks to cash. Did you cash any of the checks?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd probably if I
Oh,
had
the
this
judge
case,
is done with
I'm
this
sure it
guy.
went through then.
You mean, so what you're telling me, you've done this so many times that you can't remember this one?
No, Your Honor, it's been quite some time that has passed, and I apologize.
It was a year ago. Okay. So you had these checks in your possession for a month, at least a month, right?
Yes.
It went from several months to a month. And
Yeah, he just forgot, Your Honor.
And I know about the tech company is the checks that I had in my possession.
right, that you found at some
Yes. During the course of me,
some building that was not in use when you
Duffel
were on a
bag.
painting job.
Duffel bag, pile of jackets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So presumably TKR Tech, whose checks they were, had been out a bunch of checks for at least a month, up to several months, and didn't report it until the day you walked in to try to cash it on July 20th of 23. That seems unlikely to me, that they would just be missing checks and not know they're missing
well, I
checks.
believe that the people at the check cashing place knew that I wasn't who I was saying I was.
I mean, they got clued in that you weren't Dusty Mays?
Sure.
Imagine that.
Yeah. He don't look like a Dusty to me, Your
So,
Honor. He
so
looks
you weren't-
dusty, but
You were doing this completely on your own. Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Uh-oh.
No,
no.
I mean, I was being driven. I had somebody drive me.
Who?
A friend.
Who?
Antonio Harris.
Who's Antonio Harris?
No!
He was the one that took me to the check cash.
I know, but he didn't just pluck you out of thin air and drive you to the check cashing place. So who is Antonio Harris?
He was somebody that I was in contact with that showed me where to cash the check.
Okay.
How
How were you in
check.
contact with him?
To a drug dealer.
When did you get in contact with him?
Prior that month.
Okay. When
This guy here.
when you found the
Probably
checks?
a week before I cashed it.
Okay.
Probably a week or so before I attempted to cash it.
All right, well, so what'd you tell Antonio?
I can already see the title now. Snitch gets sentenced to prison. Antonio what? Harris, I apologize if that ain't his last name, but and Dusty Hayes, I think I grew up with these guys for real. Back there by the projects in Sparrow Road. But ladies and gentlemen, listen up, alright? I'm turning a very serious situation into something kind of comical. But in many states, once you step foot around inmates and they know that you're talking like this, man, your life could be over. Honestly, it's happening every single day, especially if you're connected to an organization as well.
Cash before I attempted to cash it.
All right, well, so what'd you tell Antonio?
I'd give him money if he drove me. He told me I would be able to cash him there.
So Antonio's the one that directed it to Ace Cash Express?
Yeah. I didn't have a vehicle.
Where's Ace Cash Express?
I'm not sure.
I've been to so
Is it in
many.
Ohio
Yes,
somewhere?
yes, Your Honor.
Is it in Cleveland
It's in
somewhere?
Cuyahoga, probably, or Paynesville out here. I'm not sure.
Do you have any idea, Jamie, where Ace Cash Express is?
I do not.
Yeah, I think I've used that place a couple times out here in Chattanooga. You know?
Could be Mayfield.
So first you went to 185th, right? You know, this,
I don't remember the sequence, Your Honor, how it went. I really don't. I know is I made one horrible decision after another.
right.
I got involved with somebody that I had no business dealing with,
Uh-oh.
Who?
Mr. Harris, who led me to believe that it would be simple and easy and none of this would happen where I am today.
Oh, man, he's really breaking it down now.
Me being strung out on drugs and desperate like I was.
Well, but
I wasn't making.
you didn't cash a check to get money for drugs, did you?
One of the checks, yes.
I thought you cashed it to get an earn.
I used some of the money, yes.
Not looking good, man. Not looking good.
My granddaughter at the time during this had passed away. And what led me to come across was I was digging around and I found that checkbook. And I found the checkbook and I asked how I could get money out of this, who would be able to help me with these checks. And I was led to Mr. Harris.
Mr. Anthony came
And
strolling
I cashed
around.
several checks, Your Honor.
Look, bro, this is how you sign them. Just walk in there calmly, hand it to them, and they're going to give you some money back. You'll be high in no time.
And the money I used for drugs and the money I did do something with, but
Do something with it. Got a couple Big Macs,
I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling you what happened.
a couple rocks.
I was dealing with a woman I'd been involved with for 10 years,
He's blaming everyone.
a drug-induced relationship solely out of convenience.
Checks weren't found by you in a backpack in a building that was unoccupied. These checks were taken from the business. 3 checks were taken from the business. Care to elaborate how they were taken from the business?
That I don't know. That I don't know, Your Honor. I did find the tech company checks. I did find those. The other ones were given to me,
By who?
Mr. Harris, with the attempt of cashing them.
Judge slammed the glasses?
So now
I
we
didn't
go-
steal the checks from no company or no
So now we
business.
go from, you found them in a backpack in a building that wasn't occupied that you were working at, kept them for a month to several months in
The
the
tech
car,
company.
in the car, and then decided to cash them and called Harris to find out where you could cash them. Now it's, you just found one of them and Harris gave you the other two.
Yeah, I had the tech companies, and that's
This
how
guy
I was
here.
led to Mr. Harris,
Wow.
because that's what he was into.
What?
I had the company, the tech company, the TKR tech company. I had that checkbook. I wasn't sure on how to write checks or how to get money
You had
or
a
where to
checkbook.
go.
You had a checkbook, is that what you said?
Yes,
There were 3 checks.
I didn't
This is
tell him
unreal.
checks, Your Honor.
Unreal.
Jesus.
Unreal. He's insulting your intelligence, Your
By
Honor.
making the attempt of the TKR tech companies, that's how I was led to do it again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Me either.
I found
Makes
somebody
no
that could help
sense.
me cash the check. The tech company. And show me where to go to cash it. And how to cash it.
What do you mean a tech company? You found.
And how to write
so,
the check.
So how did you know Harris had 2 checks from TK?
I didn't.
You didn't. It was just a coincidence that you found some and then he had some?
No, it was, I was given his phone number because that's.
By
what
who?
By my dealer.
By your dealer. How did your dealer know to give you Harris's phone number?
Because that's what the guy's into, I guess, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, what did you discuss with your drug dealer?
I asked him, I said I tried to write checks. I said I have a checkbook. I don't know how to get this money out of this company. Where could I cash the check?
Wow.
He told me go to a check cashing spot or I didn't have a vehicle. And I said, well, who, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what
No,
you
we
mean.
don't know what you
He gave me
mean,
this
pal.
guy's number to call him for a ride. I gave him a ride and this is what the guy was into.
And Harris
since
just,
I was so willing to
and
cash
Harris just happened to have 2 of these checks himself from TKR. You haven't said one honest thing to me since I walked in here.
No,
Your story has changed so many times you can't keep your lies straight.
No, yeah. He's a chameleon, Your Honor. Scammer.
I
Smoke
mean, I
on.
know who Dusty Mays is. Okay?
Who
you
is-
profess not to know who Dusty Mays is.
Who is he?
You made a check out to Wagner, you did make a check out to Wagner. Harris had 2 of these checks somehow, and you just hooked up with him through a drug deal. Man, this is one of the single worst stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, through this, Your Honor, I am confused about these dates and these checks. I know the constants, I don't remember exactly on what
Who's
order
that?
I tried to cash these checks in, or if I even did cash the checks.
I mean, if you're making up a name, somebody to cash a check, Constance Wagner,
That's what I'm saying. The checks were,
Waggoner is a strange name to make up.
those checks were already made and given to me to cash
By who?
by Mr. Harris.
You told me that you found them.
I found the TKR tech companies. I found one checkbook. That's how I got involved with this guy to begin with.
Did you give him the checkbook?
I did give him the checkbook.
This is a fluid story.
It's
I know,
hogwash.
I attempted to cash the checks, and I don't even remember if the checks were cashed.
So Harris wrote Dusty Mays on it?
I don't even remember writing that, Your Honor.
No. I asked you, did Harris write Dusty Mays? You said Harris filled them out.
Yes, he had to.
He wrote Dusty Mays
Yes,
on it?
yes,
He
I
wrote
did.
Constance Wagner on it?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, were you dressed up like in a wig or
No,
something that you
no.
appeared to be a female?
No, I was given a fake ID,
A
paperwork.
fake ID of females?
Fake ID?
No, it's just my face on it.
Oh my God, we're
Your
going
face
deep
on
here.
an ID that had Constance Wagner's name
Yes.
and Dusty Mays' name on it.
The Dusty Mays, I don't remember.
My guess is you were involved with some females to try to get these checks cashed, and it didn't work.
Good
that
guess.
somebody took them from TKR, not found in a backpack, in a building
Yeah.
in Middleburg Heights or Wickliffe. Cleveland Heights, 185th, Ace Cash Express. You're all over the place.
I'm just asking, Your Honor, please give me a chance.
Chance of what?
No, wait, no chance in hell.
Chance of proving myself.
Oh,
You and
sir,
the-
you can't even
court.
tell the truth.
I apologize for this. They said it was one bad decision after another. I can't even remember. I don't know how I even got involved with these people. I'm not putting nobody else here for. I'm the only one sitting here facing this, and they're all doing whatever they're doing.
Oh man, this guy here is a piece
And
of
to my
work.
ignorance and foolish belief that it wasn't as big of a deal as it was, is got me here. Please, Your Honor, I just apologize. I just want to apologize, man. I'm not trying to lie to you.
I'm not trying
It's just the way
to.
everything.
It's just how
the way
I'm
everything's coming out.
born.
It's just I don't understand anymore. I don't understand what I did first, what I did last, how it was written, if one was cashed or if it wasn't. And I don't want to go to jail, man.
Yeah, you've been in a lot of trouble doing all similar stuff for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Ms. Gold?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is asking for a prison sentence. The state does not believe that the defendant is amenable to community control sanctions. He has gone to prison in the past, and on his multiple cases that he has been on community control for, he has had community control violations, including as recently as September of this year for a case that is almost identical to this case, where in January the defendant was convicted of identity fraud and forgery in Cuyahoga County and missed repeated probation appointments. Based on the conduct and the continued conduct in this case and in his other cases, the state believes that prison is
Yep.
the appropriate sentence here. Thank you.
Prison.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report
Pre-sentence report says 20 lives.
and the drug and alcohol evaluation. I've listened to Mr. Brzezowski, listened to counsel, and clearly not one thing you've said has been true.
Ooh, yeah, he's done for.
And you're very experienced at this, and you've been to prison a number of times. So what you attribute as a failed memory because you were high doesn't work.
Please, Your Honor.
You're a lousy probationer. You don't do what you're supposed to do because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You're doing the same thing in Cuyahoga County.
A lousy
You
probationer.
completely made up a story where these checks came from, how they came to be cashed. Count one, I'm going to sentence you to 12 months in prison. Count four, 12 months in prison. They'll be concurrent to one another with credit for 48 days and the costs. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate the conditions, they could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If your violation's a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation of 12 months or the time left under post-release control, whichever is more. Remaining counts are dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Gold?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
No, Your Honor.
Jeez, judge is out of there.
12 months.
What was I supposed to say, man? I mean, I don't. This is over 2 years ago. And now I'm going to prison?
Yeah.
Got 12 months, he ran them concurrent, and then he got 48 days credit, so it's basically a month and a half, so you got about 10 and a half to go.
10 and a half more months ago, buddy.
All right, go ahead,
I
stand
mean, what the fuck do you want me to say, man? He's got me talking in circles and will incriminate, want me to tell other people? Like, dude, I got involved with this guy and he's giving me these checks to cash. What?
I'll meet you in the jail so we can talk.
I'll meet you in the jail, buddy. Follow
What the
the
fuck,
smoke
man?
route. Playing victim once again.
Say, man?
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say? 12 month sentences ran concurrent. which is good. He could have said consecutive and he would have had to done 2 years. But he's already done a little bit of time. Like the attorney said, he's got about 10 months. He probably wasn't expecting to do 10 months at all. And man, if you're going to go in there into the courtroom and start telling the truth, but you don't want to tell the whole truth, it's going to backfire on you guaranteed every time. Because you're not going to remember what you said, but the judges and the stenographer, all them people, they'll remember. All those lies is hard to keep up with, not to mention, look, I don't even know if Anthony or Dusty are real individuals. Check fraud, man, these guys be putting random names on things. But he did say in the courtroom that these individuals were helping him, right? And they have a last name, so who knows? The prosecution was staring down the defendant the whole time like, I'm gonna get every last one of these people. Keep running those juicy lips, man. This intel's sweet. That's how it goes down sometimes, but you can tell that the judge was still a little unsure about everything. Because he even said it, man. Who knows? These guys could be fake as well. Making everything up from scratch. Me personally, I think he was telling the truth, a little bit, and then realized he was saying a little too much and then started just throwing anything and everything out there to kind of confuse the courts and not look like a full-fledged snitch. Or my second thought is he's done so many crimes that he was thinking about a totally different check situation. And it didn't match anything that he was in court for. So the judge lost, the prosecutors lost, we're lost. But the defendant's not. He had that little smoke trail to lead him home for the next 10 months. Man, them scammers, I can't stand them. But before I go, I want y'all to realize if, Anthony, Dusty, and all these other people are real, then that means the defendant snitched on everybody over a possible 2-year sentence, all right? Just imagine what your homeboys, friends, associates will do if y'all get caught up and are facing double-digit years. I'm trying to tell you, man, there's no honor amongst criminals. Very rare these days people play the game respectfully. That's why I chose to stay the hell out of it, not to mention it kept letting me in prison. And I love my freedom, man, going to the fridge, watching the big screen, going and getting grounded with my socks off in the backyard. Yeah, the game is not for me, my friends. I'm out here though, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta go cut the grass. Nothing better, man, seeing that clean cut, edged up yard. Whew. Until the next time, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.